A decree was signed, her people marked for death. In a palace of power and secrets, one young woman held the fate of a nation in her hands. She wasn't born a queen, she became one for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Esther is introduced as a young Jewish orphan, living in Susa with her older cousin Mordecai, who raises her as his own daughter. She's smart, humble, curious, but she hides her identity in a foreign land. She was nobody in the eyes of the empire, but fully seen by the eyes of heaven. Esther 2:7. Esther had a lovely figure and was beautiful. Mordecai had taken her as his own daughter. After Queen Vashti is removed for disobeying King Xerxes, a search begins for a new queen. Esther is taken into the palace with other young women. She undergoes a year of beauty treatments and palace preparation. She didn't ask to be chosen, but she didn't run either. Esther 2:17. Now the king was attracted to Esther more than to any of the other women, so he set the royal crown on her head. Esther is crowned queen, but she keeps her Jewish identity a secret, as Mordecai advised. She lives in luxury, but her heart still belongs to her people. She wore the crown, but her mission was still hidden. Haman, the king's top official, is enraged when Mordecai refuses to bow to him. In his fury, he plots to annihilate all Jews. A decree is sent out to all provinces. One man's pride became a death sentence for a nation. Esther 3:13. Dispatches were sent to destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews. Mordecai mourns. The Jews weep. Esther hears the news and sends a messenger. Mordecai urges her to go before the king. This was her moment. Her fear was real, but so was her purpose. Esther 4:16. If I perish, I perish. Esther prepares and goes before the king, an act punishable by death if uninvited. The court holds its breath. The king extends his scepter. Sometimes favor looks like a golden scepter, extended just in time. Esther 5:2. He held out to her the gold scepter. So Esther approached. Esther invites the king and Haman to a banquet, then another. She waits for the right moment. Haman builds gallows for Mordecai. The right words need the right moment. At the second banquet, Esther reveals she is Jewish and that Haman is the enemy. The king storms out. Haman begs for his life. He is condemned and executed on the gallows he built. The tables turned. Justice found its voice. Esther 7:10. So they impaled Haman on the pole he had set up for Mordecai. Esther and Mordecai write a new decree allowing Jews to defend themselves. A great deliverance happens. Mordecai is honored. Esther's courage saves an entire people. She stepped out in fear and walked into her calling. Esther 9:1. The tables were turned and the Jews got the upper hand. The Feast of Purim is established. Esther's story lives on. Her name becomes a symbol of bravery, divine timing, and purpose. She wasn't just a queen, she was a deliverer, a woman who knew that courage is saying yes even when your voice trembles. Esther 9:28. These days should be remembered and observed in every generation. Just like Esther, we face moments that call us to step into uncertainty with faith. Give us the courage to do what is right, even when the future is unknown. Help us trust your purpose for our lives and guide us with your wisdom. Let's pray. Father, like Esther, we stand at the crossroads of destiny, unsure of what the future holds. Yet you have called us, just as you called her, for such a time as this. We ask for the courage to step out in faith, to trust in your divine purpose, even when the path seems uncertain. Give us the strength to speak up for those in need, to act with wisdom, and to trust that you are with us in every moment of fear and doubt. May we never forget that you place us where we are for a reason, and you never ask us to walk alone. Empower us to fulfill your calling, just as Esther did. Esther's courage saved her people, and her story reminds us that we're never too small to make a difference. Just like Esther, you have a purpose, and your courage can change lives. If Esther's story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe to Bible in a Bite for more powerful stories that will challenge and encourage you. Together, let's discover the strength in our faith.